Alright, let's get right into it. 5 best Vanguard funds for 2026 and beyond. But before we jump in, a quick heads up. There's a lot to cover here and I don't want you scrambling to take notes. So I made a free one-page PDF that breaks down all 5 funds I'm going over in this video. The technical names, key stats, and who should consider each one and for what purpose. I'll have the link to download in the description below so you don't miss it. And just in case you're new to the channel and we haven't met yet, my name is Tay from Financial Tortoise, where we learn to grow our wealth slow and steady. Number 1 on our list, and honestly, if you could only invest in one fund for the rest of your life, this will be it. It is the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund, VTSAX. The ETF equivalent is VTI, the Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF. This should be an essential core pillar of any good investment portfolio. Let me give you the key numbers. VTSAX has an expense ratio of just 0.04%. That's $4 per year for every $10,000 invested. VTI is even cheaper at 0.03%. The minimum investment for VTSAX is $3,000, while VTI has no minimum. Now, why do I love this fund so much and why do I talk about it so often? It is because when you buy VTSAX, you're buying a piece of essentially every publicly traded company in America. Approximately 4,000 companies at the time of this video. Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Amazon, plus that small manufacturing company in Ohio you never heard of. You own them all. The fund tracks the CRSP US Total Market Index and currently has over $2 trillion in assets under management. Yes, that's trillion with a T. That's not a typo. It is the largest index fund in the world. Now let's talk about performance. Over the past 10 years, VTSAX has delivered approximately 14% annualized returns. To put that in perspective, if you had invested $10,000 into VTSAX 10 years ago and just let it sit there, it would have grown to roughly $37,000 today. Not bad for doing absolutely nothing except buying and holding. But here's what I also want you to understand about this fund. It's self-cleansing. Let's unpackage what that means. Throughout your investing lifetime, many companies in the US, and therefore in this fund, will fail, go bankrupt, and disappear. Remember Blockbuster, Sears, or Enron? Gone. But new companies arise, take their place, and get added. The best part? You don't have to do anything. The fund does all this, cleaning itself automatically. And here's the beautiful asymmetry of this. The worst a failed company can do to you is go to zero. But the best a successful company can do? The upside is unlimited. Think about companies like Nvidia, which has surged well over 1,500% in the last 5 years. Or Apple, which has returned close to 1,000% over the past decade. Or Tesla, which has delivered more than 10 times gain over just a few years at the height of its run. Owning VTSAX is really just one simple bet. That American companies in aggregate will continue to innovate, create value, and grow over the long term. Over the past century, through the Great Depression, 2 world wars, the 2008 financial crisis, and a global pandemic, that bet has paid off remarkably well. So if you want one fund to build wealth for the rest of your life, to have a permanent position in your portfolio, you just cannot go without VTSAX or VTI. The number 2 on our list is the Vanguard Total International Stock Index Fund, VTIAX, or the ETF equivalent, VXUS, the Vanguard Total International Stock ETF. VTIAX has an expense ratio of 0.09%, while VXUS comes in at 0.05%. The minimum investment for VTIAX is $3,000. Now you might be wondering, why would I want international stocks when I just told you that US total stock market is so great? Fair question, let me explain. When you invest in VTIAX, you're getting exposure to approximately 9,000 companies outside the United States. Companies like Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing, Nestle, Samsung, ASML Holdings, and Alibaba. You're investing in developed markets like Europe and Japan, as well as emerging markets like China, India, and Brazil. The total global stock market value is approximately $130 trillion today, and US companies on average represent about half of that, more or less given the performance of the different markets. So when you're only investing in US stocks, you're leaving about half the world's investable market on the table. Now, I'll be honest with you. Over the past decade, international stocks have underperformed compared to US stocks. VTIAX has delivered around 8% annualized returns over the past 10 years, compared to VTSAX 14%. And if you're looking at that and thinking, why bother? I understand. But here's what history teaches us. The future is never a straight line. There have been multiple decades in history when international stocks outperform US stocks. The 2000s are a great example. While the US stocks were recovering from the dot-com crash and delivered mediocre returns, international markets were thriving. And already in 2025, we've seen international stocks starting to catch up. As Morningstar noted, there's been a rotation from US stocks to international stocks. And if this continues, having exposure to VTIAX could be a good diversification to your portfolio. So how much to allocate to international stocks? I say 20% is a good starting place, and you can adjust up or down from there. If you want your exposure to closely represent the global stock market, you can go as high as 40% internationally. Many target date funds do this already. However, at the other end of the spectrum, you can go even as low as 0%. Jill Collins, one of my favorite personal finance experts and the author of The Simple Path to Wealth, is in this camp. Jill doesn't feel you need to go out of your way to get international exposure because US companies like Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon already generate massive revenue from overseas. Plus, you're already getting enough global exposure via these US companies. So what is the right answer? There is none. I've read tons on this topic, and the recommendation runs the full gamut between 0% all the way up to 40%, so you have to make the call. If you're not sure, just start with 20% and adjust from there as you get more comfortable with your allocation. In the end, more diversification never hurts, especially when it reduces your dependence on any single country, even one as dominant as the US. The number 3 on our list is the Vanguard Total Bond Market Index Fund, VBTLX. The ETF equivalent is BND, the Vanguard Total Bond Market ETF. VBTLX has an expense ratio of 0.05%, while BND comes in at just 0.03%. The minimum investment for VBTLX is $3,000. Now, if VTSAX and VTIAX are your ambitious, risk-taking growth engine, VBTLX is your calm, steady anchor. To be successful in building long-term wealth, you need a bit of both. Let me explain why. Stocks are phenomenal wealth-building tools over the long run, but in the short term, they can be very volatile. We've seen stock market drop by 30%, 40%, even 50% during severe downturns. And while the market eventually recovers, these drops can feel absolutely terrifying when you're living through them. That's where bonds come in. VBTLX holds approximately 10,000 individual bonds, US Treasury bonds, government agency bonds, corporate bonds, and mortgage-backed securities. It tracks the Bloomberg US Aggregate Float Adjusted Index, which is essentially the benchmark for the entire US investment-grade bond market. Bonds don't have the explosive upside of stocks. Over the long-term history, bonds in general have delivered around 4 to 5% annualized returns, roughly half of what stocks have delivered. I know, nothing to write home about, but their power is not in growth. Their power is in stability. During market crashes, when your stock investments are plummeting, bonds often hold steady or even increase in value. They essentially act as a counterweight, an anchor that keeps your portfolio from being tossed around like a ship in a storm. Here's my general guideline. When you're young and decades away from retirement, still knee-deep in wealth accumulation phase, you probably don't need bonds yet. Your biggest asset is time, and you can afford to ride out the volatility as long as you have the stomach for it. However, as you get closer to needing your money, getting close to withdrawal, you want a mechanism to mitigate all that volatility. And one of the best tools to do that is bonds, specifically a broad bond fund like VBTLX. Start adding a bit of bonds about 5 to 10 years out from withdrawal, and they'll help smoothen your pathway to retirement. Number 4 on our list is one that many investors overlook, the Vanguard Federal Money Market Fund, VMFXX. Now you might be thinking, wait, a money market fund? Isn't that just cash? Yes, essentially. And that's exactly why it deserves a place on this list. VMFXX has an expense ratio of 0.11% and currently yield around 4%, though this fluctuates based on Federal Reserve policy. The fund invests in short-term, high-quality securities like US Treasury bills and government obligations. So why am I including a money market fund in a list of best Vanguard funds? Because cash is an asset class too, and for many investors, it is a critically important one. Here's the reality. Not all of your money should be in stocks or bonds. You need cash for spending money, for emergencies, for short-term goals, and honestly, for peace of mind. The general rule of thumb is to have 3 to 6 months of living expenses in liquid cash. Some would argue even more depending on your life circumstances. Personally, I lean more towards 12 months. And apart from high-yield savings accounts, a money market fund like VMFXX is one of the best places to hold your cash. For one, it is designed to maintain a stable $1 per share value, which means virtually no fluctuation in your principal. 2, it provides a competitive yield that moves with market rates, meaning when Fed raises interest rates, your returns go up too. And 3, as Vanguard's default settlement fund, your uninvested cash automatically earns interest while staying ready to deploy for your next investment. No extra step required. Bottom line, the Vanguard Federal Money Market Fund is an extremely low risk and convenient place to store your money you want to keep safe. Now, I want to be clear. Money market funds are not FDIC insured like bank accounts, but VMFXX invests primarily in US government securities, making it about as safe as you can get outside of a bank. For short-term money, anything you'll need in the next 1, 3, even 5 years, I say VMFXX is a solid choice you want to keep in your back pocket. And finally, number 5 on our list is not a single fund, but a type of fund. The Vanguard Target Retirement Funds. If everything I've said so far make your head spin, and you just want someone to tell you exactly what to do, this is for you. I actually get asked about target retirement funds all the time. Friends, family members, members within the financial tortoise community. They want to start investing, but feel completely overwhelmed by all the choices. They don't want to become investment experts. They just want to save for retirement and not mess it up. And here's what I come to believe after years of studying personal finance. Simplicity wins. And in the world of simplicity, there's nothing more simple than a target date fund. In Vanguard's case, it's called the Vanguard Target Retirement Fund. Target retirement funds are what we call fund of funds. They hold other Vanguard index funds and automatically adjust the allocation as you age. Here's how they work. You pick the fund with the year closest to when you plan to retire. For someone planning to retire around 2045, that would be the Vanguard Target Retirement 2045 Fund. Ticker symbol VTIVX. For 2050, it is Vanguard Target Retirement 2050 Fund, aka VFIFX, and so on. The expense ratio in these funds is just 0.08%, amazingly low for a fund that handles your entire asset allocation for you. To put that in perspective, you're paying just $8 per year for every $10,000 invested to have professionals manage your entire portfolio allocation. That's less than the cost of a lunch. When you're young and decades from retirement, the fund is aggressive. Roughly 90% stocks and 10% bonds. As you approach target retirement date, the fund automatically becomes more conservative, gradually shifting more money into bonds. This is called the glide path. You don't have to do anything, the fund manages itself. And what's inside these funds? The same excellent index funds we've been discussing. Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund, Vanguard Total International Stock Index Fund, and Vanguard Total Bond Market Index Fund. It's basically a professionally managed portfolio of the best Vanguard has to offer, all in one simple package. Now, some people criticize target retirement funds for being too simple or not aligned customization. And those are fair points. If you want precise control over your asset allocation, these might frustrate you. But here's my perspective. For 90% of investors who don't want to deal with the headache of micromanaging their asset allocation, this one fund is as perfect as it gets. With a target retirement fund, you can literally set up automatic contributions once and not think about investing again until you retire. No rebalancing, no second guessing your allocation, no checking the market every day. You focus on what actually matters, saving money and living your life, while the fund handles the rest. Jack Bogle, the founder of Vanguard, liked to say, simplicity is the master key to financial success. So there you have it. The 5 Vanguard funds that I believe are all you need for 2026 and beyond. I covered a lot, so let me summarize everything we touched upon this video so you don't forget. VTSAX or VTI for US stock market exposure, your core wealth builder. VTIAX or VXUS for international diversification. VBTLX or BND for bonds to smooth out the ride. VMFXX for cash and short-term needs. Vanguard Target Retirement Funds for the ultimate set-it-and-forget-it solution. Could you build a more complicated portfolio? Absolutely. Could you chase after sector funds, factor tilts, and alternative investments? Sure. But here's what I learned over the years. The best investment portfolio isn't the most sophisticated one or the most savvy one. It is the one you actually understand, one that you feel completely comfortable with, and one that you stick with for a very long time. And these 5 funds, in my opinion, give you everything you need to build wealth slowly and steadily for the rest of your life. If you found this helpful and want to keep all the details I covered in this video in one place, please don't forget to grab the free cheat sheet. I'll have the link to download in the description below. Thank you guys for watching, and if you want to learn more about how to bring all these funds to design your own 3-fund portfolio, please check out my video here, the 3-fund portfolio blueprint, Investing Made Simple. Until next time, all the best.